It comes in flower, candy, and concentrated forms, and marijuana for the Minnesota masses could soon be on the horizon.
It is past time to safely legalize adult cannabis use.
But under the wrong conditions,
is very dangerous.
extracting cannabis oil to make a more potent product can be disastrous.
Wow. They're all coming out?
Back in August, Crystal police responded to this home on Perry Avenue after reports of an explosion. Evidence photos obtained by the Fox 9 investigators show the aftermath, the front door blown off and the walls of the home bending from the sheer force of the explosion. The homeowner had significant burns to his arms and head and was hospitalized. Deputy Chief Brian Hubbard tells us his team executed a search warrant on the property to figure out what happened.
The cause was from him cooking marijuana or creating marijuana oil.
Peeking through this blown-off doorway reveals a clue. Look at what appears to be a blue butane canister, which can be used to extract THC, the psychoactive ingredient found in marijuana. Investigators also seized 374 grams of marijuana from the property.
Our investigation would lead us to believe that this was not part of a bigger operation, that this was an individual who was doing this in his own home for his own personal use.
Was he selling it?
We don't have any information that he was selling it, nor did we charge him with a sale crime.
But now the homeowner does face a possession charge. A 90-minute drive south of the Twin Cities to Waseca, Minnesota, leads us to Midwest Extraction Services. Here, Matt Little is a managing partner.
In the corner there is where actually all the magic happens. So we bring in 200 pounds of cannabis and then 200 gallons of cryoethanol.
He shows us this mechanical extraction unit, a complex system that cools cannabis to sub-zero temperatures, which results in this.
This would be crude oil.
It can then be manufactured in a variety of ways. In this case, a batch of hemp-derived THC blue raspberry gummies. This operation spans a whopping 850,000 square feet, with enough chemistry going on to make anyone anxious.
At the end of the day, we're dealing with some chemicals that are very volatile, very explosive.
Which is why Little is so concerned about untrained people trying to pull off what's done here inside their home.
You're going to have people that are reading stuff off the internet and trying it. Next thing you know, they do it once, small scale, in their kitchen, and now they try to scale up and start producing, and it becomes unsafe real fast. You have, essentially butane or propane being released in the air at a massive amount of pressure, and next thing you know, one spark and you just blew up your house.
At the Minnesota State Capitol, efforts to legalize marijuana are pressing forward. The current bill would allow some forms of home extraction labs to exist, with certain limitations. To be blunt, there is no single answer. States that have already legalized marijuana have adopted a variety of stances on home extraction labs. For example, Virginia flat out bans home manufacturing of marijuana concentrates. In Colorado, it's a felony to perform home extraction if using a, quote, inherently hazardous substance. Similarly, Minnesota's proposed bill would ban the use of volatile solvents in home labs. But as the bill stands, there is no specific penalty attached if you violate it.
I personally believe they should just not allow it. You have some rights inside your own home, but you don't have the right to endanger your next door neighbor.
But nationwide, even state-approved and regulated extraction labs are not immune to the extreme risks involved. In New Mexico, this butane explosion was set off after a mishap at a medical marijuana lab, injuring 2 workers. This same lab experienced a second explosion just 5 years later. And in California, this building in Los Angeles was toppled by an explosion at a hash oil manufacturer. Nearly a dozen firefighters were injured in that case. Back in Waseca, Matt Little is hoping state lawmakers take note.
To me, it's the utmost important that everybody that's in this industry is doing the best job they can so we don't look like, a bunch of amateurs running businesses.
Leaving lawmakers with the responsibility of deciding the fate of a potentially legalized cannabis market, along with setting the standards and accountability that should come with it.